They did a poll of Americans' view on socialism. It's a Pew poll, very respected, and some of the numbers are really surprising. First, I guess one that is not as surprising when you ask Americans overall, what's your view of socialism? 60% say negative, and only 31% say positive. But I actually think that is already beginning to surprise me, saying 31% positive for socialism. There's not a person in the country who talks positively about socialism other than Michael Moore and Bernie Sanders, and that's it. Like literally, there's like two guys. That's to the left of me, right?
Yeah.
And yet you still have 31% of the country with no one making the case going, yeah, I kind of like socialism, right?
It's such a dumb question. I mean, it's only a question. The answer to that question is only relevant to guys like Frank Luntz, for it's how they talk. Because I mean, if you're talking about socialism like the USSR, well then it's 100 to nothing. It's irrelevant. If you're talking about if you're talking about like a democratic socialism, and explain to people what that is, those numbers are going to be different than 60 to 30.
It's going to be much better, but that's exactly my point, Ben. No one has ever made that distinction. In fact, socialism only has a negative connotation in America. People have only demonized the word, right or wrong, and we think it's wrong, obviously. So for it to get 31%, even though there's been this heap of decades of criticism of the word, is amazing.
What's funny is that liberal would probably get 23%.
Yeah,
right. Well, actually, it's close to true. We have another part of the poll on that. But then now let me show you the most amazing part. Young people, ages 18 to 29, 43% find the word socialism negative, 49% positive. It wins among 18 to 29-year-olds with almost no one on its side. The word demonized for decades, and it still wins. Yeah. That's amazing.
It is amazing, and what's also amazing is when during the healthcare debate, when the Republicans started saying this is socialized medicine, they had to start pulling away from saying that because
that's exactly right, Michael. In fact, Frank Luntz, you just mentioned a little while ago, Ben, did a speech to the Republican Governors Association saying, "Don't use the word capitalism anymore. Capitalism is becoming toxic in the United States of America." Look, I'll show you the last part of this. When it comes to 18 to 29-year-olds, they asked them about capitalism as well. 47% negative, 46% positive. Obviously nearly a tie, but negative is actually now winning. So capitalism seen negatively, socialism seen positively. For people living outside this country, it's hard for them to understand how much that word socialism is demonized in this country and the word capitalism revered. And with all of that pressure, all of that propaganda, and almost no opposition, these numbers are stunning.
Yeah, and they don't use capitalism as much anymore, and they certainly don't use socialism as much anymore. And now you hear what they talk about is just privatize.
Yeah, they say free markets, put the word free in there, but capitalism is appalling. Well, it's not just among the young. One more on capitalism. Overall for Americans, 40% negative, 50% positive. So what that means is, hey, it's still winning, but not by that much. Yeah. And again, with no pressure on the opposite side, how could it be 40-50?
The point you keep making about not having anyone making the case that still have those numbers. Somebody should make the case.
Yeah, right? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Year 2012, you don't know what's going to happen, man. If somebody makes a strong, populist, progressive, dare I say, socialist case, God knows what could happen.
It's not such a dare to say it anymore, apparently.
Apparently not. Apparently I got a lot of backing, right? So, and finally, when you look at the question that you were alluding to, Michael, what do they call themselves, viewed positively or negatively, liberal, et cetera? Of all the different words associated, conservative, liberal, et cetera, number one was progressive, okay? So progressive finished at 22% negative, 67% positive. It's at the very bottom of that chart. The bar on the right is positive. So you see 67% positive. Conservative came in number 2 at 62. Liberal, surprisingly, got 50% positive and 39% negative. So it's also actually overall in the positive territory. Again, very demonized in the United States.
People demonize labels except for the ones who have success with them. I mean, if liberals embrace being liberal, it would be a whole different world.
But a sign there that the change, that the decision to start to admit to some extent, yeah, okay, fine, you got liberal. You got it. You did so much damage to it that we're not going to try to resurrect it aggressively, but we'll embrace progressive and run with that working.